Well, welcome back to another unboxing video, and this is another prime example of me and a little bit of FOMO. I did not get a chance to go to Gen Con, but one of the games that was highly talked about comes from Devir. It is Rock Hard 1977, and so yes, I bought in. I wanted to give it a shot. It's done by Jackie Fox, former musician for the Runaways. And I find that kind of intriguing that the game is based on a lifestyle that she was familiar with. So I did order this directly from Devir. It showed up about a week or so after Gen Con, and I was fortunate enough to get the Jackie Fox promo card as well. I know some people that were at Gen Con actually were able to get this signed by her, which would be very cool. One of the things that you'll notice, the Rock Hard logo is not here. I'll talk about that shortly. And the camera's not going to do it justice, but when you turn it, let's see if I can turn the cover just enough. There you go. You can actually see that in the right light, you can see Rock Hard 1977 on the cover. I thought that's a pretty nice touch. Now, the reason that logo is missing up here, though, is, and I'll be honest, I'm glad I read about it on Board Game Geek. That logo is actually a sticker on the outside, which I found quite odd. And I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet, so I've kept this portion of the outer covering. I might put it on the box cover, or I don't know. I kind of like how the cover looks without it, so I'm going to just hold on to it for now and make a decision later. So we get into the rule book, and the rule book is quite extensive for this weight of a game. I honestly don't consider this to be a super heavy game. It seems pretty straightforward, but I did like one of the very first things they say in here is, too long? That's what they said about Hotel California, Stairway to Heaven, Layla, Bohemian Rhapsody. The rulebook is long because nothing, with the possible exception of an extended bass solo, is more annoying than having to stop and Google the answer to a question about gameplay. And I've read through this once, I'm going to have to read through it again. They cover as much as they can in this rulebook. So I do give them credit for that. They try and even hit some of those outlier situations. This is, I would say, I don't want to say typical because I don't have a ton of Devir games, but the ones I do have, they don't come with any sort of storage on the inside. Maybe some do, so I don't want to say they all do that. So this is a game that probably will benefit from some sort of storage unit, whether it's 3D printed or one that you just come up with on your own using like bits bins and things like that. Everyone's been talking about the money, and they're not wrong. Camera is not going to do it justice, but it feels like money. And each one looks like it's slightly different, a little bit of graffiti on it. And I even noticed it's very slight, but the 10s, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, the 10s are a slightly different color than the 1s, slightly different color than the 5s. Very subtle. I mean, if you look at the edge, you can kind of see the difference in color. I'm not going to rely on that, of course, but I thought that was an interesting choice. We have in this deck here, it looks like we've got our player aid cards. This is for the solo mode, if I'm not mistaken. Oops, sorry, I got off camera there a little bit. And player aid cards with all the different icons that you're going to need to have. And a breakdown. I mean, it looks like they do a pretty decent job there of telling you exactly what you're doing step by step. The videos I've watched, like I said, seem pretty straightforward. And I think once you play it after the first game, it's going to be pretty easy. We've got our cardboard pieces here. Now, let's see if we can get this wrapping off for you. There we go. So there's just one of the cardboard punch-outs. It is actually dual layered. I'll have to dig. I don't know if they give us any tape or anything. I have a feeling that once you punch out your 3 dials here, you have to put something through the back here. I'm assuming that's going to kind of pinch it tight. Likewise here. And then this piece comes out here. I'll even just do one. This comes out right here. The whole thing comes out. Pop that out. So now you've got a nice, oh, I didn't even realize. You got your amp right there. And that's where you'll put your character sheet. So it is recessed. It'll hold in there real nice. So I like how, I mean, they didn't waste space with the cardboard, that's for sure. And you've got your candy and your record albums and tapes and crew and all that. And each one should be, let's put it this way, should be different. I did read online that somebody had they discovered that they had some of the same punch outs. So I'm going to check this on camera with you, and it looks like mine are good to go. Here, the yellow ones I assume are just placeholders, probably didn't need them, but they kept the same die for each of the cardboard punch outs. So I do like that. They didn't waste any space on that at all. I love this. We've got guitar picks in colors for your players so that you can do your turn order. You've got some of these acrylic tokens for some of the special abilities, if I remember correctly, out of the rule book. All of these are acrylic standees. I'll just pull out one here for you. It looks great. It's got good quality, feels real good as well. I don't have too many games with acrylic standees. I know that that's kind of becoming a popular thing for some games. So that is nice to have. And at this price point of what was it, 50 bucks, that's a nice little perk, I guess. These are the stands in the player color, so you pop your standee in there. They're also acrylic. We've got some wooden stars. I don't remember what that's for. This black piece is your keeping track of the round. Looks like a calendar, I assume is what it's supposed to be. We got some wooden, some wooden pieces in the player colors for marking different things as you play. Some more acrylic for keeping track of your, whether or not you have low blood sugar or not. That part confuses me. I shouldn't say confuses me, but the on-off, I get it. They want to keep it in the same vein of it being an amp, but it's weird that you're turning on your blood sugar level and off. That seems like an odd stretch. Let's put it that way. Here are the dials. They come in two parts, it looks like, so you piece them together. I have read online to be careful with these. Some are a little bit tighter than others, and they are starting to scratch the board. I'll kind of see what's happening. As someone had pointed out, if you look right here where the pointer is, some of those are down a little bit, and so that might be what's scratching it. It looks like they just clip on probably this way. I don't want to push in too tight, but they should click on that way. If they're a little too tight, I'm almost tempted to even just run out to the hardware store and get a few washers to put inside there. Hopefully that would hold. I don't know. Got a single die, good chunky die for your sugar craving. We've got our individual player boards here. So let's take this paper off here and get that out of the way. They just punch out. So again, decent thickness on cardboard. Your mileage will vary. I've noticed in my house it's a little more humid at times, so some of my stuff is warping, I've noticed, but eventually it'll improve. So each one's got its own special ability. They even have a backstory for you on the back of it. Doesn't come into play at all, but it does help you get into the mood of being a rock star. Then we have our player board. I don't have space here to completely open it up for you, but you've got your day, your night, and your after hours or hangout section, each of those being a player or a worker placement. I think it's interesting they put arrows here to let you know where you're putting your workers. I was trying to read through the book to see, does that mean anything? And I can't find them in there, so I'm assuming it literally just means here's a worker placement spot. It draws your attention to it. And then we've got two stacks of cards. This one's fairly easy. Let's just get a card out or two and see how they look. So here's a sugar card. Typical thickness. They feel like a typical card. I know some people are probably going to want to sleeve them. I've mentioned before I'm not a sleever. We'll see if I regret that. They feel like they're a decent quality though, so multiple shuffling should not affect them. I say that now, and I'll live to regret it later, maybe. We'll see. A couple other things just to point out apparently there is a mistake in the rule book as far as how many components you get. I have not sat down to count it yet, but apparently it has got some numbers that are wrong. That has been admitted on Board Game Geek in a couple different spots, so I wouldn't panic by that. I think it was manager cards, and I forget what the other one was. And even better, Jackie Fox herself on Board Game Geek, I believe, I saw it there, has put together a playlist for you to listen to while playing it. And I don't know, some people don't like having music playing. I do. And if I can find something themed and thematic with the game, I like to have that in the background. So I'm very curious to see what sort of a playlist she has come up with. And other than that, I'm looking forward to getting this on the table. I was hoping to have it about a week ago. I was heading to the Metallica concert. I thought this would be great to play ahead of time. It came the day after. That's fine. I'm still going to enjoy it and get it on the table. And to all of you, just keep rocking on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy shows or episodes like this, make sure you subscribe and tell others about it, and we'll talk to you later.